I finished my PhD a couple of years ago at UCL doing regenerative medicine of the heart. Me being able to share my personal experience on the pros and cons of doing a PhD could then help you decide whether a PhD is for you or not. You don't do a PhD for financial reasons. In my particular case, I did it because I was so passionate about the area and I really wanted to contribute to it. If all you want to do is make money, then maybe doing a PhD is not the greatest way. You could be finishing your undergraduate and you don't even need to do an undergraduate to be making money. Your friends are going to be at 70k plus and you've just started. So you kind of lost out on the money that you could have made over those years. The average PhD student will get paid between 17,000 to about 18,000. And if in addition to that you have the support of a company, you will get paid much more, but your route is going to be longer. A pro is definitely the fact that you are given a stipend to be doing something that you love doing, and it is all tax-free. One other advantage of doing a PhD is definitely flexibility. I had the chance to wake up later in the day. You don't have to come in at 9 o'clock exactly. You can come in at 12 p.m. You can come in at 4 p.m. But bear in mind that because my work was very lab heavy, I had to come in during the weekends as well. The fact that you get to decide your hours. It's great because some people work best in the morning, some people work best in the evening. But having been able to experiment, I actually kind of taught me the kind of person that I am. Going back to the next cons is you will have to work with your supervisor for about 3 to 5 years. You're not only thinking about the project and how hard the project is, you're not only thinking about the amount of hours that you're working, but now you have to think about this extra person that you have to please. You may just not click as people. It's hard and it's not easy. Be very careful about the type of supervisor that you choose. Doing a PhD can be very isolating. You're the only person who is doing this project, who understands this project, and the only other person that can help you is your supervisor. And your supervisor may be very helpful in your first year, but most supervisors don't spend time in the lab, and so by the time it gets to the second year, you really are the person leading your project. The other positive aspect of doing a PhD is the fact that you get to travel. In my experience, I've got to travel to Italy, San Diego, got to travel all over the UK. A lot of departments will provide you with a budget to go to these conferences. Also, you can apply for scholarships that allow you to travel. If your supervisor has a grant available, he can also allow you to go to these conferences. But obviously, every single time that you go to a conference, you have to justify why you're going to the conference. So once you justify that and you get to the conference and you win that scholarship and so on, you find other PhDs that come from all over the world. Let me tell you an interesting story. I was doing this project during my PhD. There was this technique that wasn't really working for me. There was this guy who was doing a similar project, not the same project as mine, but he was using similar techniques to mine, and that technique worked for him. And he kindly sent me the protocol and I've tried it and it worked for me. That is just one of the many positive things that can come from going to a conference. You can travel to these conferences at any time of the year that these conferences are happening. It's exciting. It is a dream job to travel the world talking about something that you love. Of course, PhDs are hard and you will be working long hours, sociable hours. I was working until 7 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. Most departments don't want you to stay longer than 7 p.m. One of my favorite things of doing a PhD was the fact that I was my own boss. Most of the time, you get to choose your times. And not even that. One thing that I loved about doing science and working in the lab is the fact that I got to be a child in the lab. Like if I found something that excited me and interested me, I had the ability to pursue it as long as I justified it to my supervisor. And I've done that so many times. And no job in the world will ever allow you to do that. And this is something that I've realized when it came to applying for science in a science role in a company. In a company, you are producing a product for a client, okay? And that's how they make money. But that flexibility to just sit down and think, you know what, I could do this. Why don't I create a gas chamber that, where I get to play around with my cells and figure out what's going on? Why will spend time teaching and mentoring a lot? For example, in my second year, my supervisor gave me 2 students to mentor, and Each of those students, I've mentored them for about 8 months minimum. With that, I wasn't being paid for that, it's something that was expected of me. This is the other pro when it comes to a PhD, is that you think that you're only gaining one skill, but you're not. You're learning project management, critical thinking skills. You learn how to present and how to showcase your data in simple words. You're contributing to exciting research that's going to contribute to great things in the world. As a PhD student, you learn to be a leader. That's the reason why many of us, when we come out of the PhD, we are not satisfied with just working for people. We want to work for ourselves. Another negative, I would say, is the fact that there will be a lot of failure. If you're a perfectionist, doing one is not for you. If it's a lab-based project, you will have a lot of failure. Sometimes, and most times, it's not even your fault. Especially when you're working with biological products, there is a lot of variability. But a lot of people who are perfectionists, they come with the mentality that everything has to work. That if they put in the work, that it's going to work, and that's not how a PhD is. When you are working on a project during your doctorate, it's not about you just getting and showing that something is working. The scientific way of thinking about something is that something may not work as well, and that could be a discovery in itself. Academia is not about getting it right. It's about trying your best. To me, it was a mini adventure that changed me in ways that nothing else could change me. To conclude, I hope that this video was useful to you guys, and please feel free to jot down any questions that you may have. Please subscribe to my channel. I would love to make more videos, and please feel free to follow me on any other social media platform. It's Dr. Fatimina on Instagram or Fatimina Side on TikTok.